Hello, this is a recording for the participant information sheet and interview guidance for the Young Onset Dementia and Experiences Navigating Environment study. I'm going to start with page 1 of the participant information sheet. My name is Molly Murray. I'm a PhD student at the University of the West of Scotland, and I'm working with Alzheimer's Scotland Centre for Policy and Practice. You're receiving this participant information sheet because you may be interested in participating in my PhD research project. You can read more about this project below, and you can also find a video with the same details on YouTube. What is the project about? My research looks to explore how people living with young onset dementia experience finding their way around places. I want to learn about the places that are important to people with young onset dementia. I also want to identify what makes it easier or more difficult to get around different places and environments. Moving on to page 2. Why is the project important? We know that younger adults living with dementia have unique experiences compared to older adults. However, the current research looking at experiences of navigating environments focuses on older adults with dementia. This project will increase the current understanding of how challenges getting around different places impacts adults living with young onset dementia. Also, findings from this research will help inform a future study about how we may improve these experiences, possibly through changes to the environment. Why have I been invited to take part? You have been invited to take part because you are living with young onset dementia, where symptoms of dementia started before you were 65 years old. Do I have to take part? No. It is up to you to decide whether to take part. If you do decide to take part, you will be asked to read this information sheet and sign a consent form. If you decide to take part and change your mind, you will be able to withdraw at any time until 2 weeks after your interview. You do not need to give a reason for withdrawing. If you decide to withdraw, I will delete your personal information and data, such as information from the interview. What are the benefits of taking part? You will not gain any direct benefits by taking part in this project. However, participating provides an opportunity to share your experiences of young onset dementia. I hope that the findings from this project will benefit other people living with young onset dementia. This will be achieved through sharing what I have learned from the project and through using these findings to inform further research. We are now on to page 3. What are the disadvantages of taking part? There are no direct disadvantages of taking part. However, participation does involve giving up your time voluntarily. Everyone is unique and has individual needs, so if you are concerned about any potential disadvantages that could affect you, please discuss these with me. What does taking part involve? If you do decide to participate, we will firstly arrange an informal discussion online using Microsoft Teams. This will be an opportunity to meet each other and for you to ask any questions that you may have. We will also discuss the consent form, which involves recording your formal agreement to participate in the project. If you are still happy to continue with participation, the consent form will be emailed to you for completion. You will be invited to participate in an interview that lasts around 1 hour. This interview will take place via Microsoft Teams. I recognise that everyone has individual needs, and if you would prefer to meet in person, for example at an Alzheimer's Scotland Resource Centre or a University of the West of Scotland campus, we can discuss whether this is possible. You are welcome to attend the interview alone or to have someone with you. However, the interview will be about your personal experiences. We are now on to page 4. For the interview, I would like you to bring an image of a place that you go to regularly and / or a place that you would like to go to more regularly. You may bring 1 or 2 images. Our interview will then involve discussions about these images. More information about the interview can be found on the interview guidance sheet. I would like to record our interview for audio, as well as what is on screen if our interview is online, and I will ask you permission to do this before the interview. Confidentiality. To take part, I will need to record your full name and contact details. I will also record your age or date of birth and when you started experiencing symptoms of dementia, as this is relevant to the study. I will not ask you about your specific dementia diagnosis, but will record this information if you choose to share it with me. This information will then be stored in accordance to the University of the West of Scotland and UK General Data Protection Regulation guidelines. Information such as your contact details will only be used to contact you about the study. The information will not be used for any other purposes or shared with any third parties. Only I will have access to your personal data, such as your contact information. Only myself and my project supervisory team, which includes Dr. Bianca Hatton, Dr. Nicola Douglas-Smith, and Professor Louise Ritchie, will have access to your research data, for example, your interview transcripts. When the research findings are shared, for example for publication, you will be referred to by a pseudonym, and that is a name that is not your real name. This helps to ensure your contribution is anonymous. A privacy notice can be made available on request as well. We are now on page 5. We will not share your personal information with anyone out with the university. The only exception to this would be if myself or Bianca had a serious concern for your safety or well-being, and legal advice would be taken before sharing your information with anyone for safeguarding purposes. If you are concerned about how your personal data is being processed, please contact UWS in the first instance at dataprotection@uws.ac.uk. If you remain unsatisfied, you may wish to contact the Information Commissioner's Office, ICO. Contact details and details of data subject rights are available on the ICO website. What happens after my interview? Once you have completed the interview, I will send you an email to thank you for your participation. Using the audio recording with your permission, the interview will be put into writing. Remember, you can decide to withdraw from the project until 2 weeks after the interview date. After this time, I will begin analysing the information. You can choose to receive updates about how the project is progressing, including publications of the research. You can also choose to receive an invite to a second project related to my PhD. We are now moving on to page 6. When will the project finish? This project will make up part of my PhD thesis. This will then be submitted to the university, UWS, for my qualification. This will be sometime at the end of 2026. However, I also hope to share my learning in several ways, including as articles for academic journals, posters and presentations at conferences, and creating accessible summaries in written, video, visual, or other art forms. And you can choose to receive these when available. Who has reviewed the study? UWS School of Education and Social Sciences Ethics Committee has reviewed this study. Approval number 2024-23282-18446. If you have any questions or would like to discuss anything further, please get in touch with me. My email address is below. My research is supervised by Dr. Bianca Hatton, and you're also welcome to contact her with any questions or complaints. For myself, my email is molly.murray@uws.ac.uk. And for Dr. Bianca Hatton, the email is bianca.hatton@uws.ac.uk. Thank you for reading this participant information sheet. We are now moving on to the interview guidance sheet. Starting on page 1 from the interview. The aim of this study is to gain an understanding of your lived experiences of getting around, i.e., navigating different environments. During our interview, I will ask you questions regarding what places are important to you, what it means to you to be able to navigate environments with ease, your personal experiences of navigating places that are important to you, including challenges that you may have experienced, and what support you use to navigate environments with more confidence. Moving on to page 2, choosing an image to bring to interview. For our interview, I will ask you to bring an image of a place that you go to regularly and/or would like to go to more regularly. You can bring 1 or 2 images. The interview will involve discussions about these images because this can provide us different ways of thinking about and explaining things. Images might be a photo taken by yourself, an old photo, a photo taken by someone else, such as a friend or family member, a picture of a map, a drawing, or any other form of image. It could even be a poem or description of the place. You can also look for images using pixabay.com, unsplash.com, or some similar sites. Below is my own example of a place I would like to go to more regularly and why it is important to me. However, you may choose something completely different to what I have done. This is a photo of my workplace, which is an important place because it allows me to be around other people and to socialise. I cannot go here all the time because it sometimes becomes too noisy for working. This can make me feel overstimulated, though I get around this by using noise cancelling headphones. Moving on to the additional bringing an image to interview examples. Remember, you may choose to do something completely different. Example from unsplash.com. This is a photo taken in Edinburgh. This is a place that I would like to go to more regularly, as it is a beautiful city with great places to visit. I cannot go here all the time because it's very expensive to travel to Edinburgh from where I live. There are lots of steep hills and steps in the city, which I struggle with due to a knee injury. Edinburgh is a very busy place, and this can feel intimidating and overwhelming, making it difficult to find my way around at times. Example drawing. This is a drawing of a park. This is a place that I go to regularly when I'm walking my dogs. It gives me a chance to connect with nature, which I find is great for my health and well-being. This brings us to the end of this recording. Thank you for taking the time to listen, and please remember to reach out if you have any questions regarding the research. Thank you.